Hi, hello, what's up? My name is Megan Esteban, and this feels like a self-tape. I hate this, but I don't know. I don't care. This is a draw my life, because why not? I was born July 9th, 2007, as you can see, and born and raised by my Filipino parents in the UK. They were neighbors in the north of the Philippines, I believe. They had their eldest, my older sister, there. And then they moved to the UK where they had me and my other sister. So as the bunso with my Dora the Explorer hair, I was a happy but chaotic child, you know? I would play around and have fun with my friends in the Filipino community. I would also go to the beach a lot and spend all of my energy there. Plus, I would draw a lot, if you couldn't tell already. But then I had to leave that all behind because something called school was starting. I was like, what is that? It was all good though. My other sister was there, even though if it was 2 years above me. I was fine. I had a friend group, even if I was the only Asian and I got whitewashed. Whatever. Moving on, I got my first iPad when I was too young. But yay, I got the internet and yay, YouTube, you know? Younger me was just binging Vine compilations and watching comedy YouTubers. But I would also get inspired by editing, making videos, and movies. If you know, you know. I was also a Game Boy! I don't know, I'm so sorry. Anyways, my family got the Wii at some point and we would play video games like Just Dance with video evidence I don't want to look back on. We also got a family computer, a Mac, and me and my other sister got our own phones too. Yes, Minecraft is still my favorite video game. Thank you. But like any sibling ever, we fought a lot. At least I had someone to play with 24/7. I wasn't isolating myself with video games. I still went outside. My light blue whiteboard pen ran out and dried up, so I had to switch to a red one. Anyways, I used to do gymnastics before high school, which was pretty cool. Plus, since the friends I made in primary school were in the same neighborhood, we would play at the park, so that was fun. Suddenly, dramatic, a gift came into our house. Me and my sister were coming back from school. I assumed it was just some Christmas gift. When I tell you, a small dog came out of this small box on our table, I was so overjoyed. His name is Elvis and I love him to death. I wanted to name him Tom, but that's a different story. I also used to travel often with my family when I was a child, like where my relatives were, for example, LA. Speaking of, I've only been to the Philippines once in my life. It was for my other sister's birthday, but I still don't remember anything from that trip, okay? I remember a hotel pool with a fish painting I thought was real. I also remember having Jollibee, I'm sorry about the drawing, and other small things like riding these kind of bikes and playing games with my cousins. But I want to go back, please. I don't remember anything. I want to go back. But back to schools and gymnastics. I also did piano lessons for some reason. The family got another dog. His name is Pedro. And then some app called Musical.ly came around, like 2015, 14, I don't know. A YouTube video I made actually went viral, but I didn't show my face, so that doesn't count. And then this thing happened. I was obsessed with K-pop when I was a kid. I loved all of the content and the videos, as well as music videos with really good dancing. And they could sing. What more could you want? Plus Asian representation. Let's go! Now, somewhere in 2018, before high school, I moved houses. And I don't know why, but I remember distinctly what the room we stayed in looked like. It had no Wi-Fi. Anyways, it was kind of sad to go to the big city and leave my neighborhood behind. But, you know, high school had started and I didn't know how to feel about it. Yet again, I didn't know anyone. Yeah, my sisters went there, but that kind of built a reputation or an expectation on me, I guess. I don't know. It's inevitable though. I was known as, oh, you're her sister, oh, you're her sister, but whatever. I wasn't a loner. I made friends, okay? My grades were fine. I wasn't like an excellent student. I did a lot of sports clubs and I was still playing games too. The social media app Musical.ly turned into TikTok and I wasn't as popular, which I prefer. Guess what? I don't know when, but we got another dog. It's like 3 sisters, 3 dogs, you know? They are all chihuahuas though. The new dog is named Highness. High school continues, 2020 happens, nothing much. Oh cool, we get to stay inside, 3 weeks off of school. A global pandemic fucking happens. Everything is now online. You don't have to listen to your lessons because you're doing something else. People were joining fandoms and other content, and I so happened to have joined one at the time. So when that got popular and famous, I did too. Cosplaying was kind of like an outlet for me to connect with people on social media, but it just became more than I expected it to be. It really tested my creativity too. So 13-year-old me was like, what is going on? I'm just doing this for fun. But the more my account grew, the more confidence I got. I really loved posting on social media and it made me happy. After a year or so inside, we had to go back to school. Each year was separated by a floor and we had our own play area, which was outside. And new year, new me. I turned my pin straight hair into an ombre, like black into blonde. Gave myself curtain bangs and under my mask, I had my nose piercing at the ripe age of 14. Taking GCSE music, I did guitar lessons at school. People thought I would do art, but I did history instead for some reason. I took Japanese as a language and I did PE GCSE. So outside of school, I was still making content, watching YouTubers, playing games, and I got introduced into performing arts. But the last thing that I wanted to happen did happen when my TikTok account got found out by my year. I hated the attention. I'm sorry. Even if it was a small mention of, oh, you're that girl from TikTok, or you make TikToks. And with cosplay, I really hated it. I don't know. I got self-conscious and insecure. I don't know. It just felt like teasing, so much so that I ended up blocking people from that account. It just felt like they were making fun of something I was proud of. So I turned to journaling and listening to music like the emo teenager I was. Sometimes I would go into the bathroom stall to just be by myself. And over time I became more comfortable and accepting of who I was, especially with the performing arts weekend school that I went to. I was surrounded by like-minded, creative and supportive people who loved musical theater. I grew to accept myself and other things about me too. Anyways, I remember me and my old best friend having this conversation about why don't we hang out with more guys more? And so me and my friend group merged with the guy friend group, and yeah, you can probably see where it goes from there. On the bright side, we would go on Discord and play games, just chat and help each other with schoolwork. Those times were fun, and in school we would watch them play basketball. If being recognized by my TikTok account in school wasn't enough, my younger performer self wanted an agent. People from my stage coach recommended it and helped me with it, but I was young and doing everything by myself. I didn't know what I was doing. I recorded some self-tapes and just uploaded them. They were TikTok sounds, not even monologues, but then I landed myself a little voice acting project. It was a fun opportunity. I didn't think much of it until I got the main part. My voice sounded mature for some reason as a 14-year-old playing 17, but hey, it was short-lived and a side quest. At this point, I got pretty bored of my blonde ombre hair that I was curling every day and damaging it. I wanted to change my hair, which my mom was at first skeptical, but I ended up getting it anyways. It wasn't short hair, but it was boy short hair. I would cut it sometimes, I would style it myself, and I absolutely loved it. I was obviously cautious of what everyone thought, especially my followers, but everyone seemed happy, surprised, like it fit me. It was a fun change for my appearance, but then 2022 hit and I was 16, I believe, and so I got more insecure, as you do, particularly when I had grown it out and I styled it differently. Other girls were doing different things while I was still somewhat masculine. With that and the style that I made for myself, I was insecure about my body, and I questioned whether I was surrounded by the right people because of that. To be honest, I don't really remember much from these years. I probably blocked them out. My grades were okay, plus GCSEs were coming up and my friend group got into a huge thing. I felt like I couldn't keep up with anything in my life, so I cut off what made me happy. A small hobby of me exploring and celebrating my creativity. Me stopping doing cosplay may not be a big deal, but it was a big deal for me, okay? It felt like a part of me went missing. I couldn't identify myself. I didn't know who I was. It was kind of a wake-up call, you can say, not really, for me to grow up and go to the real world. I was 16, sure, but I don't know, that's when I started to realize something was wrong with me. Unhealthily distracting myself with studying for GCSEs didn't help. And my breaking point was when my two best friends fell out and it became a whole thing. And I just kind of broke down. Like I said, I don't really remember much from these years, maybe because, like I said, my subconscious just blocks it all out to protect myself from revisiting those feelings and thoughts and memories. I had a lot going on, I have to admit. You know what else was a lot on my mental health? My other sister's debut, her 18th. Of course, happy memories come from there, but stuff happened and I ended up going to therapy for that. Counseling more specifically. But all I could do was let time pass. And it did. Anyways, I don't know where to segue from that. I was starting school again. Primary school done, high school done. Now it was sixth form. And I have a love-hate relationship for it. The high school I went to also did a sixth form, so I wasn't alone again. As in, I actually had friends I knew anyways. I did English, literature and language, drama, and psychology, which good luck with that if you're doing that. I met some really cool and fun people who I made a small friend group with. I started to go to the gym every day of the week in the morning. I would trust myself to actually go out and travel with my friends. And hey, I got into K-pop again and dance, which was cute. So eventually I got better. Look at me. I don't know what to say. What I can say is that whenever I do feel good and everything's going well, I get bored and decide to change my hair again. And you know what I did? I dyed it blue, because why not? Dark blue, it's my favorite color, okay? It is 2024 now, and my performing school was doing a whole school production. I was a bit scared of what the feedback would be on my blue hair, but hey, I was living my life. I loved it so much. I was 17. I had actually gotten Ariel in the Little Mermaid production that we were doing at Stagecoach. The junior version. I'm not that good. Relax. And my blue hair actually got me recognized in sixth form, apparently. People loved it. It reminded me of my short hair era. My grades were the highest they've ever been. Okay, academic weapon. And I made so many friends. I hesitate here because I don't know what to say, because I don't know what happened, but I think I got too high on my egotistical horse and I started feeling bad about myself again. Struggling with imperfection, growing up, feeling like a child, never wanting to see the world ever again. I got into a really challenging mindset, one that I don't really have to name, but you can work out yourself. I was 17. I didn't want to become an adult. Sixth form was done. I was turning 18, but I was having doubts of growing old. I don't know. I felt like re-identifying myself, but I didn't know who I was. I was too busy looking at the past and the future, but then that kind of looped and I wasn't focusing on the present. But do what I always do. Pick up a hobby. Start drama school. Go into musical theater. I don't know. And meet new friends to get more insight, or just to distract myself from not wanting to become anything or anyone. I really wish I could leave this on a happy note, but I don't know. I'm still struggling with this kind of mindset, I guess. This video has taken me too long. It could have been done in a day, but again, I struggle with perfection and procrastination. I probably recorded this like 2 months ago, maybe. I don't know. I'm recording this voiceover when I should be posting it today. Said me like 5,000 times because I don't know. But hey, I'm just gonna post this. It's not perfect, but neither am I. Hashtag motivational. I'm sorry. To be honest, this has been a whole trauma dump kind of video, and you getting to know who I am when I don't even know who I am. But hey, that's life. Who knows what they're doing? I'm so tired of this video, and it's midnight, and I want to sleep. So that's why we're ending it here. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. And now you know a little bit more about me. And that's all you're going to hear because I hate talking about myself. I really want to end this on a motivational and inspirational, positive note, but I don't have anything. I'm sorry. All I'm going to say is no one really cares at the end of the day. Live your life to the fullest and stay alive, because me personally, Megan Esteban, didn't think I would live or make it to 18. Thank you and good night. That would be all. Bye.